Hi, I'm Mr. Luo Yanjie. I'm the subject head for geography.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Ramesh, subject head for History and National Education.
We are going to share more with you about humanities, and in the secondary school, you have 3 humanities subjects. I'll be talking more about geography.
And I'll be talking to you about social studies and history. Hi, for this question, if you have chosen this option, it shows that you have a keen interest in doing social studies. Let me take you through what is social studies. So for social studies, you will be actually developing skills. You'll be learning about different skills that will help you to look at the key points of different sources like this, or you will be looking at 2 sources or 3 sources and comparing them to see what are the similarities and differences between them. Or even better, as you go through the upper secondary, you'll also be talking about questioning the reliability and whether the sources are useful to you. And you'll bring it all into a topic, and you'll try to help you to make a decision on what is your opinion about the topic that you have on hand. In addition, not only that, you'll also be given some issues to look at in a country, and you'll be looking at the possible solutions that you can provide for the topics. For this question, if you have chosen this choice, it shows that you have a strong interest in history. When you study history, you're very curious about uncovering the past, to connecting to the present and to the future. And how do you do that? It shows that you are also very interested in asking many questions, just like how you'll be asking questions not just about the writer or the story itself, but in history also you'll be looking at asking various questions that deepens your understanding about what you have read.
Now, geography may not be a subject you have learned in primary school, but it does not mean that you can't have a strong interest in it. Okay? You may have heard from your seniors that you learn a lot of things from geography, like floods, like water issues, like deforestation, or about earthquakes, about volcanoes, about tourism, about the weather. Okay? But among all these things, what do we care about as geographers, and how do geographers think? These are 2 of the key things that geographers care about. Okay? Firstly, when we look at all these different things, we are trying to understand why the world is so different. Okay? Why different places on Earth is so different. So for example, why are mountains found here, as you can see from the map? Okay? And why are mountains found over here? Okay, but not in the rest of the South American continent. Okay, so these are some of the things that we care about as geographers. Why places are so different? Why is it that certain things can only be found in some parts of the world? Okay? Now, one of the other things that we care about as geographers is how do humans deal with these differences? Okay? So, for example, in Indonesia, one of our neighbors in Southeast Asia, has a lot of volcanoes, right? And we know that volcanoes can cause a lot of ash and deaths and destruction. Okay, so how do Indonesians live differently in response to the volcanoes as compared to maybe Singaporeans who don't encounter any volcanoes in this island? Okay, so if you were to pick this option, this is what we're interested about as geographers. How things happen, how does it work, how does it affect people? But a geographer will go deeper and start thinking, why is it that it occurs only in some parts of the world? Okay, and how is it similar to other places? And why doesn't it happen in other parts of the world? Okay, and of course, the other thing that we will ask is, how are we affected by it, and how do we deal with it differently? Okay, so that is why if you have chosen this option, it shows that you are starting to think like a geographer, and it is likely that you will have a strong interest in it.
To find out more,
do check out our other videos.